Over the weekend, no, this particular video trended on social media a lot. Now you see a very beautiful young girl, Osha, or a teenager, with VGHS or SHS, but then she had a lot of hair, as you can see. But then it's in chicha. Now Osha the before her, you trying to teenage also because in body him so mutiny and you new yam. Pepe. But then ye channel soon. Now when this video came out, I trending on social media. No, I'm up with I say at the internet 2025. Yeah, that's use the colonial rule of cutting or shaving our females' hair. And now, oh yeah, young person be now who call SHS a chauti. Bow bemu chauti. And you say abrofodu or wa or more call ye schools no or more preferential treatment. They go with their hairs. But then ya yen crofo no ana wo mo ye half cars near the omuchi mo mucha and ye bisa say at the internet mo yes sir me no can say this question all pointed to one person nipa you pointed to the question this whole question pointed towards the education minister Haruna Iddrisu. So people were of the view say maybe Haruna Iddrisu was going to badge, he was going to do a reform because now we call this in betu just say you starting use you starting share local language you know it was schools. Ye che die be yen fan cha die yen fan share science yen fan share mathematics. Let us teach and also use it. People were thinking said there was going to be a reformer. You better allow you to do their hair. But then he had this to say. Saying say if you are sleeping and thinking said the Ministry of Education is going to do something about this issue, say they can do their hair and go to school. In fact, he has a message for you. He was speaking at the 75th anniversary at Mauli Senior High School. They were having their 75th anniversary. Mauli Senior High School, no more having no, and a minister no could more this and same way. To the intro video, a back to us.
Chairman of the GES Council is here. There is an ongoing debate in social media about haircuts and size and length of hair in secondary schools. We will not tolerate it today. We will not tolerate it tomorrow. And so long as we are molding character, if we give in to hair today, tomorrow it will be shoes, and the next day it will be the way they dress. Therefore, as part of our disciplinary measures, headmasters and GES, you are accordingly empowered to take full control of how students behave on your campuses. So anybody who thinks that your child will walk into any institution of learning as if that child, forgive my words, was to attend a beauty contest, the school environment is not for that purpose and not cut for that purpose, and would not tolerate that as an institution. Togbe Chairman, there is a lot of growing indiscipline in our schools, some even with teachers abusing learners. We would not accept that. We would apply heavy sanctions to any teacher who wants to take advantage of a learner. And to the students, you only can walk away from Mauli School with two values: discipline and integrity, and the future is yours. So Mauli School, you have every reason today at 75 to celebrate.
So that is the minister saying, sir, if you want your hair to be like this, okay, you can enter school. But then, video about nan lady nitigusu say, you can't enter senior high school. And let us be honest, there are various takes on this. Will be a challenging. But then, you see, it's either you stand for something or you fall for anything. There's a reason why we do this, because what should be before you teen, a Oshe many nationals mo abuchi amone Pakistani for ni Asia for ye jumano. When him say mo chinwi no be before you chinwi no different from Pakistani Asia for ti omo po de mo chinwi po de wa. And white people Bruneian kasa fita omo so mo chinwi different. But then omo chinwi no curly soft and thin. But ye chinwi na ding, and it requires constant care. Because, I mean, we stay with ladies, our girlfriends near there. We see any wives, we know how it goes. Internet quiet payment, it's no so coaching 1 year, and I'm a winning my basa. A bimukra or movie school commit or muti. free. So this question about allowing our young girls to have their hair on, you see, I know school free education, school fees going to mean to I buying them with free food. I buying any child school fees now. I buying them amenities. I would school. Obi here ni nyina the mouth. The yan boss. So we can It's what go school what we need skakwa de beto school de beto if they say school atade ne if they say amenities like textbooks nya de ni nyina ni aduane ni nyina aban de ma free no u benye skakwa ye wuti e ba ne sana e the peer pressure baba because ebi mbe ye omuti ebi ntimi nye omuti, and when people begin to feel say ebi mo ye fese omo playing equal playing field that a whole and the peer pressure and beba one shot prostitution ever started was senior high school. So I really understand the minister on that front. What I say, and to me, the DNTI, you know about for by SHS or be Ghana or a Bruni or co school or senior high school now or keeping it in the honor. It is because their hair can be on, they will bath with it on the ye send it. That is it. Now, we'll come back to that issue. But then, we can say, about information I told you, I said, Baumia is still leading in the New Patriotic Party or race. Felix Ofosuku actually had this to say about this. Because, I can 2026, 31st January, Baumia is going to win. If Baumia wins, he is going to face whoever the NDC will elect. Say, Edin Ketia, Julius Debra, Haruna Iddrisu, Jinano Poku will live to see. In fact,
the one who is likely to win Baumia will also be their weakest link in the 2028 elections. For as long as this economy does better than what they left, Dr. Baumia will struggle to convince the people of Ghana that he has what it takes to run this country. You see, he himself is a bundle of contradictions. In one breath, he says he was the be-all and end-all of all MPP policies. Sometimes he takes credit for even things that predict him, like interoperability and what have you. Yet, in another breath, he says that he had no role to play in the MPP and that the economic mess was not his doing. Meanwhile, we all know that as far back as 2008, when he was first tapped to be President Kufuor's running mate, when he didn't even have an MPP membership card, which led to strong protests from Kennedy Upon, if you read Arthur Kennedy's book. It is the economy that has been cited for the reason why he was tapped to partner President Kufuor. Maybe in 2008 it was a bit less pronounced. But in 2012, he started holding public lectures to demonstrate his capacity in economic governance. Indeed, in 2016, President Kufuor was clear in his statements that he had gone for Dr. Baumia because of his economic prowess and that he was going to hand over the management of the economy to him. When they came to power, he sought to take credit for every gain that was made in the economy. Yet, the moment the economy turned south, he tried to distance himself. So it raised serious credibility problems for him in the eyes of the Ghanaian electorate. For as long as he remains active in politics, he will always be associated with the economic downturn that proved disastrous for the average Ghanaian. He has not been able to overcome that. So no amount of maneuvering, it doesn't matter how he wins in the MPP. People will always compare his performance to what is happening today. And you see, voters are rational decision makers. The average voter, to the extent that they are of sound mind and of the right age, is rational in his decision making. When he goes to vote, if the conditions under which he lives presently are better than what existed under a previous government that he has voted at, he is most unlikely to go back. So that is Dr. Baumia's conundrum. If you look at the economic performance today, it is much better than what he left. So exactly what, if indeed I've seen him say, for instance, that he would deliver world-class governance. Meanwhile, you left power barely 10 months ago. Where was that world-class governance? People can say that it is the worst period that this country has had to go through under your stewardship of the economy.
But he was not the president.
Sure, he was not. So he was not the president when he claimed that those 33 policies that were implemented were his brainchild. Today, he claims that he was the brain behind gold for oil. Despite gold for oil, our economy collapsed. Our currency collapsed. It moved from 6 cities to 17 cities. When he was leaving power, the economy was around the city was around 17 cities to $1. He was not the president, and yet he said that he introduced gold for oil. He was not the president, but he says that he introduced interoperability. He wasn't the president, but he says he introduced that thing that they used to transport some blood to be, what is it called? What do you call it? The drone service. He was not president, was he? He wasn't president, but he says he
Zipline, isn't it? The zipline.
Zipline, yes. He said he was not president, but he says he introduced it.
So those were the things he could do.
So, but what is the effect, the totality of what he did?
Those he
No, hold on. He says that he was the brain behind gold for oil.
Yes.
Not so.
Yes.
He was the brain behind the accumulation of gold by the central bank.
Yes.
So they had been accumulating gold since 2022 or so. And yet, the purpose of the accumulation, which was to bolster the currency, was not realized. The currency performed at its worst level when he was doing that. What is the outcome of what he did? So that contradiction, and it appears that he still continues to drive that mantra, is going to create a permanent credibility crisis for him. People, you see, the more he tries to run away from the economic hardships that he created, the more people associate him with it. So his difficulty really is not going to be in the MPP. In fact, this week, contrary to Paul's claim that there has been some toning down in the vitriol, it has not been the case. MPP people, indeed Brother Champo, has publicly accused Bawumia of destroying the currency. And his supporters have told the same lie. They have gone to town accusing him of, and if they were NDC people, you could say that we engage in the usual politics. But these are MPP people. Many of them are supporters of Akufo-Addo. They are saying that Bawumia is responsible for the collapse of the currency. And if you know the role that the currency plays in economic management, you see that it is at the heart of many of our problems. The mismanagement that went on.
Okay.
They said that he did it. So if your own party hold you accountable for the destruction of the Ghanaian economy that we witnessed, what do you expect the general public to perceive of you? So his biggest problem really is not these primaries. I believe that he will win.
Okay.
What remains to be seen is a margin of victory.
All right.
But